Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I am very happy to have Tony Duffy here in our studio again. Welcome, sir, to the show. Today we're talking 1 million cups, and you brought with you Brandon Stoddard, who is the Small Business Development Center representative as well. Welcome, both of you, to the show. It's
Appreciate you having us. Yeah, we're excited about the 1 million cups program. It was introduced by the Kauffman Foundation, which, if you're familiar with it, it's one of the biggest CAP organizations kind of focused on education and entrepreneurship. So they drive a lot of grants. This particular program, 1 Million Cups, was launched a few years ago at this point to bridge a gap in a very fragmented kind of entrepreneur and startup culture in Kansas City, where the Kauffman Foundation is. And now it's grown to, I think, over 80 different chapters across the country in most major markets. So at its core, what it is it's kind of like a safe place to connect startup enterprise and entrepreneurship and kind of put them in a room with other entrepreneurs, established leaders in the business community, and capital, potential capital, to kind of get a feedback loop happening. And we've launched, we're moving toward our third monthly installment of this program up in Ogden and Weber County. And we are kind of spinning through a growth model that's kind of going to kick us out of our current space, I think. So.
Wow, that's really cool. We're looking at some video from the Kauffman Foundation right here. You know, Tony, I love this because I think, you know, obviously we have a great entrepreneurial spirit here in Utah, but beyond that, there's also a lot of influencers, people who really, you know, influence our, you know, the kind of the path of entrepreneurs in a sense too. You would be definitely in that category, I think. We see a lot of bloggers and folks in that, the blogosphere, I hate that word, but there are people who are definitely kind of guiding where maybe we are all headed in a sense. You seem to be right on that edge with that too, which I think is part of this.
Yeah, and I'm, you know, I'm a serial entrepreneur, so that just means I like to live.
I like that.
I like to live terrified all the time.
Right.
So this type of a program for me, and how I came to encounter Brandon, was through, we got the opportunity to speak at Weber State's business school on entrepreneurship, and someone from his staff was in that, and we ended up getting connected to Brandon, and Brandon's been instrumental in helping us get things we needed, like loans and some of the connectivity we needed to ramp some of the businesses that we've created since we've been here in Utah. So
that's awesome. Well, let's bring Brandon into this conversation a little bit then. So talk to me about you know, where you came into this, and you know, where you envision your future with it.
Yeah, so we were looking for opportunities to help more small businesses succeed. Small businesses and entrepreneurs are the backbone of our economy. So we're looking for ways, how can we better educate and help our entrepreneurs learn what it takes to succeed? And so we saw that the Kauffman Foundation had 1 million cups and said, hey, this would be a great addition to our area. Let's get involved, let's bring all the people together, and so far it's created a lot of energy.
You know what I thought was interesting is that when we were looking, let's say go back to 2008 for a moment, when everything else in the world was stagnant, when it looked scary, when things were really, you know, we talk about, you know, that, as you said, the terrifying
hurt my
time.
Feelings, Joe.
Yeah, me too. and the interesting part was, you know, even for me, my work, it just died. I mean, the first person that gets, you know, gets headed to the street is the PR person. That's the first guy gone. You know, what have you done for me today? Yeah, there's no customers.
Marketing and PR get the hack.
Right. But yet, the funny part is where I immediately sort of gravitated towards, and I didn't mean to, but it was the only place where there was action happening, was entrepreneurs, which is weird. You think about that. I mean, from any other perspective, you're like, seems like the wrong time for entrepreneurs to be doing well. But it's funny, they do kind of flourish even in a bad economy in a sense, right? So what do you suppose that's about, Mr. Stoddard?
You know, it's all about hard work and looking for the right opportunities. Some of the biggest companies in the country were actually started in recessions or depressions. So it's about going for it. Really,
you got nothing to lose at that point. Is that what it is?
Yeah. You know, what's funny is people sometimes look at when it gets hard, it's time to start, but really now is the time.
This is the ideal.
Really well
exactly.
now, so start it now. Look at doing what you need to get out there before things get a little
right, because right now there's some money to spend. People are excited about it, which is really, you guys are getting people in front of folks that have the option to help out. Talk to me about what, when we look at one of these monthly events, what is it like? How does it play out?
Well, you get to listen to me talk. First of all, as I play the role of MC, I try to set a little bit of a tone for the morning or the day, and they're very tightly run activations. So companies that want to, they can be very, very early in their manifestations, or a little further along, trying to figure out what their next step is. But they apply to participate online, and there's a tightly structured application process, and then once we've kind of reviewed them, our committee's reviewed them, we choose who's going to present that month, and gratefully we're
two of them, right?
Yeah, two companies per month, and then one or more of our committee members goes and kind of coaches them based on kind of the Kaufman criteria for presentation. So it's literally, you got 6 minutes.
It's a lot like a TED Talk in that sense, isn't it? As far as the structure, I mean, it's very structured.
Yeah, it's very structured. They have like a 6-minute window to present their company, their idea, and then basically what the general question that they're asking is, what can this community that they're presenting to do to help them develop their business? So it becomes then a feedback session. So it's a 6-minute pitch or presentation. It's not really a pitch, and then 20 minutes of Q&A, which has been a really amazing process. And then we move to the next company. So we're in and out in an hour essentially. We do gratefully, we have a bunch of different sponsors that have come on board, so it's a free breakfast, and hence the 1 million cups coffee.
Coffee and
that's
breakfast.
the idea, is like building entrepreneurship, with 1 million cups of coffee and caffeinating that.
Caffeinating it is what it helps drive it a little bit, doesn't it? But there's more. It's more about there's more to this than the financial side of it. It is an awful lot about, as you said, what individuals can bring to you as far as the intelligence of how to do this. They're looking at your business plan, looking at what your ideas are, developing those ideas, right? There's a lot more to this.
Yeah, the exciting part of this is we bring in attorneys, accountants, university faculty to get feedback. What is it going to take to really help these entrepreneurs and small businesses jump to the next step? Because that sometimes can be the hardest part. How do you grow? How do you get to where you need to be? So many times entrepreneurs run into problems. How do we solve this issue we're facing? We don't know. A lot of people start businesses without a lot of experience in business.
Sometimes not.
How do we do this?
I know that could be frightening, but that's the whole point. I remember, and we mentioned this yesterday, I seem to keep coming back to it because it just makes sense. Ben Franklin's comment, we can all either hang together or we can hang separately. Having some help from your friends, having somebody with your back, having a wingman, is really what it's all about if you want to be successful, right? You've got to welcome that.
It really is, and it's always been a truth for me, is like it really is who you know. And the who you knows don't necessarily have to be the most powerful or influential people or the people with the deepest pockets. It might be, a lot of it, as I continue to grow in age, a lot of what I learn comes from people much my junior. So I learn things from the college student that's in the room. That's a lot of what this is really just a very structured and focused networking effort is what it really is. Awesome. To kind of create and have a ongoing kind of monthly cadence around the startup culture in a given geography. So that's the interesting part.
We have just a moment left. I want to talk about how people can be involved in this. So both from both sides of this. How can one get involved with 1 million cups?
Boom.
So go to 1millioncupscom/Ogden. If you want to present, you can fill out the information. It goes straight to us. If you want to attend, you can also register on our website or give us a call, and we'll get you involved. We've packed each event so far. There's a lot of energy, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet there has. Tony Duffy brings a lot of energy to everything he does, which is why he's so successful at what he does. I appreciate you always. You're always thinking of something exciting and new. One day we're talking wakeboarding, the other day we're talking skiing and she shreds. It's always exciting to have you here, buddy, and I appreciate you bringing this one too.
We appreciate the support. Yeah.
No, it's true. It's been a fun relationship we're having working with you, and I hope this continues for sure as well.
Likewise, we
because I know
appreciate
you
it.
guys have got my back, which is great.
Yep.
I appreciate that. 1 million
September
cups.
7th, join us. I don't know
Okay.
if you got to be here, but you could always join us there.
All right. What day of the week is it?
That's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
September 7th.
Yeah, I'm taking that off. I'll be off on Wednesday. All right, much more coming up here on the Mountain Morning Show. We're taking a break. We'll be back with it right after this.
Cool.